Hi, I'm Manu Bennett and I'm here with Setish, the TV. Shall we begin?
So I found out, and this is top secret information, it's nowhere on the internet, that you studied classical dance
Yes.
when you were young. Not that you're old now. Did that influence your career as an actor later on? And if so, how?
No, I think I stumbled upon dancing before I became an actor. You know, I was just finding, and music as well. I was just finding artistic expression. You know, and stumbling in and just. I had a girlfriend that was a ballerina, basically, and they didn't have any male dancers at their school, and they wanted to do West Side Story. So my friend, who was dating her friend, and me got dragged in to do West Side Story. You know,
right.
You're a jet. Oh, yeah. So I did that, and then the woman that ran the dance school was like, "You've got good natural movement." I was an athlete. I was a national athlete. I had the Australian record for hurdles at 15 or something. And so she she said, "Come along and we'll give you free classes and we'll get you to work with the girls doing pas de deux," which was like lifting girls into the air and, you know, doing all of this. And I became good at it, and I started to perform at a Stedford's. Then I was offered like the opportunity to go to the Elan School in New York to study ballet, and that's a very prestigious, dance academy, but then I took a trip to America and I met my uncle who lived in just above Los Angeles, and he was a piano player and played piano for Elvis, and he took me down to Los Angeles, and I don't know, I just kind of decided I wanted to use my voice. You know, I just wanted to speak, and you couldn't do that with dance. And so there was music and dance, and then came this idea of wanting to be an actor. But I think all of it's just about expressing yourself in some way. I lost my mother and brother quite young, so anybody that's been through that kind of trauma, has to find a way to express themselves. And a lot of artists, you'll find, have got this kind of like dark matter that they have to tap into in order to do their art, and that's what gives them their art in the first place. So I am one of those people. I unfortunately at a teenage age had trauma, losing my mother and brother. But when it comes to roles like Crixus or Slade Wilson or anything like this, there's a lot of dark matter to those characters. But then the joy that you can, what I've found is that my fan base mostly are like, wow, we get so inspired because you hit rock bottom in your performances and then you climb back up. And that's kind of the medicine of our world, this fictitious world, is that at the same time we're trying to reach audiences that are sitting at home eating their dinner, eating their, the microwaved dinner, and they just want to watch something that they can relate to, So it just depends on how much you're willing to sacrifice, as an actor to reach people and be in that kind of thing. Oh, otherwise you can be on a comedy or you can be on a whole bunch of different things, but I usually get quite dramatic roles, and with good arcs, and I really enjoy these challenges, they're wonderful.
It's curious that you talked just about that. So Hollywood and the filming industry has this way of branding people and gluing them to a certain genre. Do you think and do you fear that you might be glued to this guy that only plays
okay, I get your question.
action?
I've spent the last 2 years pulling myself away from that navigation, which is not controlled by me. And you're right. I'm in that stereotyped fantasy world. Manu Bennett, the fan. Like Shannara Chronicles, The Hobbit. Or Slade Wilson, Crick's Deathstroke, you know, and a lot of people say to me, "Oh man, you got to keep your body, you know, you got to be." I don't want to, you know. I guess as I'm going through, I just did a film in New Zealand called Muru, which I believe is going to Sundance and Cannes Film Festival and stuff like that. It's about contemporary issues to do with colonisation that is still affecting the Maori people in New Zealand, which is my people. You know, part of my race is Maori, yeah, it's just an important contemporary story. So how that will evolve, I don't know. It comes out in February, you know, and maybe that will evolve in a way that'll give me a new approach to the big screen. You know, how that will happen, I don't know yet. Will it happen? I don't know yet. But you know, I don't know, everything in life. You know, I met Jason Momoa, you know, 8 years ago, and I've watched his star rise. And you know, like Jason and I have some things in common. You know, we're both Polynesian actors. You know, I've had discussions with him about some of the stuff that he goes through and been through. And now he's found his niche. You know, will I find that same thing? I don't know. You know, but you know, the idea of say. Different races sharing the stage. It's changing a lot now, you know. And I like to think that I am a representative of Maori culture. You know, if Muru helps us step up in a way and helps tell the Maori story to the world. You know, the Maori plight, and I'm part of that. Then you know, that's what we really are here for as artists. You know, to really impact the real world. You know, it'd be nice, not just sit in the fantasy realm. You know, who knows what will happen after that? But you know. You know, world stories opening up, and so I'm glad about that. I'm hoping that that's the trajectory of my career will be that I'll be, you know, in some meaningful stuff because the world needs it right now. You know, we need some good medicine, and you know, that can come through film and television. Yeah.